And as we take decisive action to stop the threat posed by the terrorist regime in Iran with Operation Epic Fury. Is that a great name? Well, it's only good if you win. You know, you can only do. And we've won. Let me tell you, we've won. You know, you never like to say too early you won. We won. We won the bet. In the first hour, it was over. But we won. But they gave me a list of names at general. Sir, you can pick the name you'd like, sir. I said, the name of what? The name of the attack on Iran, sir. And they gave me like 20 names. And I'm like falling asleep. I didn't like any of them. Then I see Epic Fury. I said, I like that name. I like that name. And my administration, as you know better than anybody, is also working to keep the oil flowing. It's flowing all over. We knocked out, you know, they wanted to drop some mines. Very friendly people, mines, so boats blow up. And we knocked out as of, you know, every hour I have to change because they knock them out so fast. I've never seen anything. Think of it. They knocked out 54 ships in 2 days. And they're real ships. In fact, I got angry at my people. I said, are they any good? Yeah, they're warships. I said, why the hell did we kill them? Why didn't we just capture them and use them in our Navy? They said they wouldn't have qualified for that. But I got a little upset with my people. I said, why do we have to knock them? And actually, one of my generals said, sir, it's a lot more fun doing it this way. But we knocked out 58 naval ships. We knocked out their Navy, okay? Let's put it that way. But they also knocked out the mine layers. They call them mine layers. They put mines in the water. Lovely job. Isn't that nice? Blow up ships. And we knocked out 31 of them. And you know, I was very proud of myself. I said, why didn't you use the weapon that we use on the drugs that come in by sea? Do you know that drugs by sea are down 98%? And I said, that's a hell of a weapon. And they said, well, give it a shot. It worked very well. We've knocked out, I think, 28 or 29. All of them, almost all of them. They'll all be gone. By the time I'm finished speaking, they'll be gone. These people work very fast. But I'm pleased to report that earlier today, the International Energy Agency agreed to coordinate the release of a record 400 million barrels of oil from various national petroleum reserves around the world, which will substantially reduce the oil prices as we end this threat to America and this threat to the world. We don't want to leave early, do we, huh? We got to finish the job, right? Over the past 11 days, our military has virtually destroyed Iran. Tough country. Their air force is gone, totally gone. That took the better part of about 3 hours. They no longer have radar. They don't have anti-aircraft equipment. They don't have anything. Their missiles are down 90%. Their drones are down 85%. We're blowing up the factories where they're made left and right. And frankly, nobody has ever seen anything like it. Nobody's ever seen anything like what you're witnessing now, and that can include the original killing of Soleimani and al-Baghdadi, two of the worst killers in the world that I did, as well as Operation Midnight Hammer, where we totally obliterated Iran's nuclear potential. We obliterated it. They don't have nuclear potential. And then after Midnight Hammer, and then we left, we figured that'll be the end of them for a while. But they started again. That's why we got to finish it, right? We don't want to go back every 2 years. And that's because, you know, there'll be some day when you don't have me as president. You'll have perhaps you'll have a weak, pathetic person like we've had in the past, mostly all. Like Barack Hussein Obama, who signed one of the worst deals ever with Iran. where they were going to give up everything. Remember when he filled up a 757 with billions of dollars of cash and sent it to Iran? Billions. People forget that. That's when I realized the presidency is very powerful. When you could put over $1 billion in an airplane and fly it over and give it to a foreign country that's your enemy. How stupid was that? But that deal, the Iran nuclear deal, gave them the right to have a nuclear weapon as of 3 years ago. If I didn't terminate that deal, I terminated it very quickly. If I didn't terminate that deal, they would have had nuclear weapons, and this world would right now be a different place, much different place. Believe me. And then Biden, he came along. He had no clue. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. But what they did was incredible. Everything they did was wrong. Think of it. Afghanistan, Biden, Afghanistan. The most embarrassing day in the history of our country. Embarrassing. 13 dead, but hundreds and hundreds are dead from, I count both sides, I do. I count both sides, sorry. But hundreds and hundreds of people dead. And instead of leaving from Bagram, they fled. I hate to even say it. There's no reason. We were in there. I was the one. We're going to get out. We're going to get out with strength and dignity. We're pounding the hell out of them. They didn't like Donald Trump, the Taliban. They would do anything I asked them to do. You know that. And this guy comes in, left all the equipment behind. I said, every piece of equipment will be taken out with us. They said, no, it's better to leave the plane. I said, why is it better? Well, I think it's more cost efficient to leave the plane. No. You got a brand new fighter jet, $150 million. You give it a tank of gas, little jet fuel, and you fly it out. They said, sir, I think it's better to leave the plane. These are the exact opposite generals as we have now. Do we love General Raisin Cane? He's great. But oil prices are already coming back down, and it's going to come down, but we're not leaving until that job is finished, and it's going to be very fast. It's going to be very fast, but we're not going to count on having competent presidents. We have to assume we're going to have incompetent ones, like the one we had last time that couldn't walk off a stage. Remember? He'd finish with a speech. The speech would last about 2 minutes. People would come out, not many, like 2 people. And he'd be finished with the speech, and then he could never find his way off the platform. He'd look around over here. There's so many stairs. I have 4 sets of stairs on this platform. Usually they have at least that. He couldn't find, or walking up Air Force One. Now, I know the problem with this, it can happen. You could slip. I could slip. I came downstairs today that was soaking wet. It's a little rainy today. And I have steel stairs, and I'm saying, hey. But I do it very slowly. I grab that thing, because nobody cares if you set a speed record. The only thing I admired about Barack Hussein Obama, which was nothing actually, but the only thing is the way he bobbed down. Remember, he'd bob. Hey, you talk about unpresidential. He's bobbing, and I couldn't believe that he made it without at least a noticeable major fall. But Biden was the opposite. Biden couldn't even walk up the stairs. He fell 3 times walking up the. And the world watches that, and they don't like seeing it, although they actually do like seeing it, because they say, what the hell is going on? Or when he fell at the Air Force Academy, right? And the general was standing there, could have caught him, but he didn't want to drop the paper that he's holding in his hand. So Biden went down for the count. Now, we have a country now that's respected, and we don't play games, and we have the greatest military, and it's so nice to see. It's so nice to see. And they want to get back in office for the midterms, and you can't let them. Did you see that they went to Munich, right? You saw that, right? You saw Gavin Newsom. He admitted that Gavin Newsom. So I think his career is over, okay? Let's get off the teleprompter. Do you mind if I get off the teleprompter for a couple of minutes? Because this is, I have these great speechwriters. I drive them crazy because half of the time I'm not. But Gavin Newsom, in an interview, In an interview, you have a doctor in the house, please? Doctor? Yeah, take your time, please. Take your time. We have all the time. These are great people. They wait so long, hours and hours. They're great people, right? We have all the time, right? Thank you.
ये भी कहना है कि ईरान की एयरफोर्स मुकम्मल तौर पर हमने तबाह कर दी है। ऑपरेशन एपिक फ्यूरी के पहले ही घंटे में हम जंग जीत गए थे। आलमी मंडी में तेल की कीमतें अब कम हो रही हैं। हम तवक्को से ज़्यादा तेज़ी से काम ख़त्म कर रहे हैं। ईरान के ख़िलाफ़ जंग हम जीत चुके हैं, लेकिन जल्द निकलना नहीं चाहते। हम नहीं चाहते कि हर 2 साल बाद वहाँ जाना पड़े। अमरीकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने ये कहा है और उन्होंने कहा कि काम मुकम्मल होने तक ये जंग जारी रखी जाएगी। ऑपरेशन एपिक फ्यूरी के पहले ही घंटे में हम ये जंग जीत गए थे।
Do you think the people backstage are listening to me? How about Ave Maria? Well, because is going to be okay. How about putting it in right now, Ave Maria, if they are listening? Ave Maria by Pavarotti. Right?
अमरीकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप केंटकी में मौजूद हैं, जहां वो लोगों से ख़िताब कर रहे हैं और उनसे इंटरेक्शन भी कर रहे हैं। अपने मखसूस अंदाज में लोगों से गुफ्त शनीद भी कर रहे हैं। जो अहम निकात हैं उनके ख़िताब के वो भी हम आपको बता दें कि एक तो उन्होंने ख़ासी तनकीद का निशाना बनाया है साबिक़ अमरीकी सदर जो बाइडन को, और इसके साथ साथ ईरान के हवाले से उन्होंने बहुत अहम बातें की हैं। ऑपरेशन एपिक फ्यूरी के हवाले से उन्होंने कहा है कि जंग के पहले घंटे में ही हम ये जंग जीत चुके थे, और चूँकि उन्होंने कहा कि हमने इस वजह से हमला किया कि ईरान 47 साल से लोगों को कत्ल कर रहा था। तो अमरीकी सदर केंटकी में मौजूद हैं और अवामी रैली से ख़िताब कर रहे हैं, जिसमें वो लोगों से बातचीत भी कर रहे हैं। इसके साथ साथ एपिक फ्यूरी के हवाले से मैं आपको बता रहा था कि अमरीकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने अपने ख़िताब में ईरान के हवाले से जो बातें की हैं उसके हवाले से मैं आपको बताऊं कि अमरीकी फ़ौज के ईरान पर शदीद हमले भी इस वक्त जारी हैं। अमरीकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का ये कहना है, हमने ईरान के 58 जहाज़ों को मुकम्मल तौर पर तबाह कर दिया है। हमने बारूदी सुरंगें बिछाने वाली 31 कश्तियों को तबाह कर दिया है। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने पहले ही ये कहा था कि ईरान को वार्न किया था कि वो अपनी बारूद बिछाने वाली कश्तियाँ यहाँ से हट।
Thank you, Oz.